am Red Cyclone! Aria!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to another episode of the It Gets Better, I Swear podcast. I'm your host, Louis Beans, and I'm here with Merc with the mic.
What is going on, world?
Chillin', Merc. What it is?
A lot of stuff going on. We have this whole HBO Max Discovery merger. We have Evo that came up this week, and we had to watch Hellboy this week, which actually wasn't a bad movie compared to what we had last week. It was anything was better than that. So we got a lot to talk about in our comic book theater with Hellboy, and then we have a lot of news and stuff. So we started off with so right now HBO and Discovery. Well, Discovery pretty much bought HBO, and now they're kind of building their plan. So what I got off of it was they're planning a 10-year plan with the DC movies and stuff like that. They kind of want to go in the route of what the MCU is doing 100%. You probably start seeing it on Black Adam and then go from there. They're canceling a lot of things. Their priorities are changing. I didn't like, so they showed a demographic of they're more the things that people are more like the most watched things on HBO Max, and things that people want to watch between Discovery and HBO Max. And some of the shows up there, I'm like like the 90 Day Fiance shit and things like that. And then you have that right next to the bat symbol. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, a lot of people like trash television.
Yeah, 100%.
It is what it is, man.
My mom's could tell you everything. My mom watches all that shit. I go to I share YouTube TV. I share it with Julio. Shout outs to Jabstar, and I share it with my mom. So I could tell who's watching what, kind of just by seeing what was watched last. So like I see Blue's Clues and things like that. That's baby Fiona and shit like that. Shout outs to her. And then I see all these like reality shows. Like that's my mom. My mom likes crazy shit. My mom likes that crazy drama. And she told me about it. She fucking laughs at it. She's like, it's hilarious. That's why I watch it.
But then so what they say about it?
So they're trying to.
Good is bad. What?
Well, what they're trying to do is establish. So kind of how they were trying to put things together, especially so they're planning to merge the HBO Max and Discovery together by next year, by next July. That's the kind of their date they want to do. They want to focus more on blockbuster movies. So most of the DC stuff are going to be focused movies. So like you said, like the animation side. So you actually said you listen to Hollywood Babble and they explain it better. So what did they say on that? And then we could go from there.
Yeah, so that's a podcast with Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman, and they have a segment where they usually go into Hollywood news since they're in the business, right? So yeah, he gave some good perspective on a lot of things because it turns out he was going to have another show that was going to be. He goes into, again, if you know Kevin Smith, you know he has long-winded stories. So I won't go through all the details, but the small ones are he was going to end up in a position to have an animated show. I think he was going to write it, right?
Yeah.
And then he got to pick a character. I think it got down to 2. And one of them was Bizarro, and that's who he chose.
Yeah.
And the person who he was going to have voice Bizarro was going to end up being Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I really wish that.
And so in history, this is the second time Kevin Smith and Nicolas Cage and Superman that been a thing. I find that funny. Yeah. But what he said was because of the new regime, who's coming along and taking these things over, like you said, is merging things, right?
Yeah.
but also he put into perspective they have to cut a lot of costs, and he put like a big ass number. It was like in the billions. It was a lot of money, and it was like because of that, a lot of stuff got cut. And it's not that that show got cut, but what you do, I guess, when you're a creator is they don't get back to you.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, I'm in the void. So again, when that happens to a lot of stuff, it's just like they don't want to say it, but this disappear, and it's going more to what you're saying. Like, didn't you say like there's a lot of things they have priorities on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like he said animation is not one.
I'm so sad to hear that too, because I think some of DC's best freaking movies are the animated movies.
I agree.
I think they do such a great job in delivering stories that we want from the comics in actual theatrical form. I think they do a hell of a job doing that.
Yeah. Then another one that is one, and that you heard also, blockbusters. That's what they want with the superhero movies.
Yes.
So that's the main priority to make their money is blockbusters.
But you know what's crazy and what really gets me going, especially if they put more depth into the animation. You could release these fucking movies as like one night only kind of things, and like boost up the money for that and actually do something. Because some of these animations, like the Killing Joke, when it first came out, the animation, they did a short weekend movie release, and that shit was sold out every single show. So I think if depending on the storyline you're doing, like say for instance you do like a really in-depth Flashpoint, or if you do the Blackest Night would be a fucking awesome animated, if it's actually like a 3-part animated movie and shit, because it's a long fucking storyline. But if you could do like Blackest Night and do 3 different theatrical releases throughout like within 2 years, and have an event and like, get free Green Lantern rings when you come see this movie and shit like that, you get the fans to come out. You just gotta put the effort into it. And I think like that's something they could easily do with the freaking animated series, the animated cartoons, because they're good and they're better than the movies that we got. So it's like, it makes me sad. Also makes me sad and scared is that Batman one that's coming out on HBO Max. It was supposed to be a Batman animated series made by the original creators of Batman the animated series. That's supposed to be coming out next year. There's no news on that yet, and it kind of scares me.
Yeah.
Because you have Kevin Conroy coming back. You have Mark Hamill coming back as Joker. You have a lot of characters, like a lot of original voice actors and all that stuff coming back to that show. And from what I saw from the animation, it looked pretty fucking dope. So I'm really hoping that stays. Because it looks incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then this is also trickling down to a lot of other things if people don't really notice that. HBO and Warner Brothers, the Discovery Warner Brothers merger also affects the WB television channels like TNT, TBS, and it goes in from there. The effects might go to AEW. The effects might go to a lot of these comedies that we like to watch and things like that. So we don't know exactly where things are going to go and how they're going to treat the channels, because what I was reading about the TNT, the AEW might have to find a new home after their lease is up, because they're looking to just go back to what TNT used to be, just replaying old movies to get the revenue for commercials and just NBA.
Okay.
Yeah. And things like that. So it's going to trickle down to a lot of things. It's not just the HBO Max. It's also going to TNT, TBS, and all the like the Warner Brother owned stuff in between. That pretty much the Ted Turner channels that he owned. Those are all under Warner Brothers. So it goes into that effect. I am scared about the animation department because I think that's some of my favorite DC stuff. Period. I think that's a lot of people's favorite DC stuff. That kind of scares me.
Yeah, it. But why does it not make them money? Is it too niche?
You know,
Because that's the whole point. Like what they keep making the focal point is the money.
Yeah.
It's whatever they're doing, it's not making them the money.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, if this is the stuff that when you hear fans talk about it,
yeah,
why isn't it translating into like dollar signs? I just don't understand.
Yeah, like usually, like,
is it too expensive to do that? Like compared to just like actors and cheap effects, I guess.
I think animation is maybe slightly cheaper, but not that cheap. Like you're still gonna pay for the animators, you gotta pay for the studios, you gotta pay for all that stuff. They are pricey to make, but I don't think that. I feel like, all right. So for example, streaming is like the money you make from streaming is a whole different thing than when things went on TV. So say for example, if Seinfeld was only on streaming, the actors and royalties of what they're supposed to get, they won't get shit because it's streaming. Gotcha. It's not worldwide. As in when it gets syndicated, that's where they make their money. They get like an extra $1 million check every year because all the advertisement revenue that every show gets within those syndication stuff, they make money off of that. So it's kind of like even WWE, when WWE used to do pay-per-views and stuff like that. With the ticket sales and the venue things, like the main event stuff, they used to get a bit bonus if everything sold out and it made a lot of money. Nowadays, they don't do pay-per-views. They don't make that money like that. They have a set contract now.
Okay.
So it's in the lines of that, but also, I guess Discovery just spent a couple $1 billion to buy HBO Max, so they kind of wanted to get their money back in a way that is profitable and not just spending money to spend money. This also goes into the game division. You don't know what's going to happen to NetherRealm. You don't know what's going to happen to WB Studios. A lot of the games that were scheduled to come out are right now in limbo because that's the reason why Ed Boon didn't have nothing for Mortal Kombat, because he doesn't know where the studio is going to be standing in the next couple years and stuff like that. So things kind of all went in halt with WB Studios besides Gotham Knights that's coming out.
Okay.
Suicide Squad got delayed because they don't know what's going on. It's trickling down to a lot of things, especially a lot of things that are people are excited about. And again, I'm very I honestly I will sacrifice the movies that are coming out for the animation studios because I think they do an amazing job with animation. And that's just me because I personally like the animation movies a lot more than the actual movies, just because I think they just do better and they tell a story better. I'm scared because I do like Young Justice. I do like those animated shows as they will too. I thought Justice League Action was very underrated. Like I think people didn't take that seriously and never really watched it. But if you actually watch it, they have Kevin Conroy as Batman. They do have the actors. They still voicing these characters and actually giving them to life, and a lot of being better than I thought. But I could see where their money is not being made because these things are not coming out on TV, on like national TV anymore. These are going straight to streaming.
That makes sense, right?
So maybe they had to.
That's the name of the game.
Yeah. Maybe they had to go to a new strategy and actually release things on TV. Maybe have like again, like what I said with the animated movies. Why
well, I guess so, yeah. Right? Like you said, if they have a strategy to go backwards to television on Turner being specific things, they like maybe they're gonna just put all the movies within a more reasonable timeline on those channels and stuff. Because DVD turnovers is quick, man.
You know what's crazy too, and I feel like again we're in the age of streaming.
Doctor Strange came out like 2 weeks. It was not 2 months. It couldn't have been 2 months after the movie came out. It could not have been.
It was 3.
Are you serious? Yeah. It seemed way faster than that.
So Disney, but then again, Disney kind of has a strategy with that right now. So they already said like they're not going to keep their things in theaters. They rather you watch it on Disney Plus and stuff like that. If once the theater run is done, so once it comes out, they go straight to streaming.
I mean, the DVD from streaming.
The actual DVD came out a lot later than the actual streaming
No, but I'm talking about between that, not from the movie release to that. I'm talking about there's a short gap between the streaming release to the DVD release. It was mad quick.
So, from my knowledge with Doctor Strange came out 2 months after it released on theaters, and it came out maybe 4 months on DVD.
That means that was a month
Yeah, it was a month
between streaming release and DVD.
Yeah, it streamed
That's what
first
I'm
on
saying.
Disney Plus.
It's mad fast.
Yeah,
It's so fast. So at that point, it's out there in the wild.
yeah, but
and
then
you
again,
might start losing money.
but Disney has a strategy. They made their money. They made their money back and then some with Doctor Strange, and so they made enough for it to go into streaming, and able to get those memberships up with Disney Plus and actually promoting Doctor Strange on Disney Plus. This one, get your memberships now.
So
They've
are you
always find a
telling
way
me-
to make it lucrative.
So you telling me that Dwayne The Rock Johnson, his movie cannot fail? Is what you telling me?
No, it cannot.
So we'll see, right? Because that's what they want.
That movie has to go way over. That movie has to go that has to be successful. It has to go close to the billion mark of what it has to make.
Oh man, I don't know if it's gonna make it.
I don't either.
I don't know if you heard the news. The people who watch the most movies, they ain't happy with us right now.
Yeah.
China's not happy, son. They ain't gonna watch that movie.
So the thing with that movie, it has to be successful. It has to go over budget. It has to make money and then some. It does have to have a big opening, because right now the DCU is riding on that movie to be successful.
Yeah, pretty much.
They got lucky with the Super Pets, and that was actually very successful.
Okay.
Because that one was a one that, hey, this might do good, this might do bad. They threw that out there, and it did really well. So they got lucky with that one. So now Black Adam has to show up. Shazam has to make money. There's no time for failure when it comes to the DCU. They can't fail. They have to make money.
So why is it, Mark, that I hear we're going back to Marthaville?
I don't know.
Why do I hear that Ben Affleck wants to be Batman again?
Well, he is in the Flashpoint movie.
Is that okay? Is that a cartoon or is that's a real life?
That's the new Flash movie, yeah. The one with the dude that's going crazy right now.
You mean the Reverse Flash?
Yeah.
Oops. Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
about right.
Yeah, and that one's still planning to come out. And you still got a Michael Keaton Batman there too.
He's in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's very interesting.
And then you have he's returning in Batman. Affleck Batman is returning in Aquaman.
Which that's already confirmed. Is
Yeah.
that a done movie?
That's the movie that he's confirmed to come back to. And then
Is that one soon?
Huh?
Is that soon? Is that like the
That's
next one?
year.
So in terms of the timeline of what's coming next, you said it's Black Adam and then Shazam?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And then they have Ben Affleck returning as Batman and Aquaman. You have the Batman 2 being made, so that's going to be a separate world. That one's still on the go. Joker is getting a sequel, and that's already on the go. They actually teased it recently, so basically they had to do something to get your focus on something else, but they teased that with Lady Gaga playing Harley Quinn.
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
I just how on board are you for what they're presenting?
Not very strong. Again, once you said something about the animated studios being in danger, that made me like, yeah, I'm not really supporting this now. Because I think those are some of my favorite things. And then like Harley Quinn's new season just came out, and that's been fantastic as well. I like their animated studios. I like their thing. The freaking thing with Kevin Smith making a Bizarro thing, I'm 100% interested in that. I would want to see that. So hopefully that actually happens. But knowing his luck is not.
Yeah. True enough.
But I really hope that actually happens. But is it going to start trickling down? It's going to trickle down to the comic books. It's going to trickle down to the only thing that I will say that has a strong foot in that's not going to get fucked with is their toy division. That McFarlane multiverse shit is killing it. Like, they are making tons of money and they're fucking killing it on that side. That's one division of Warner Brothers that I'm very highly confident that they ain't gonna fuck with, is the toy division.
Okay. All right.
Because they're extremely successful.
Okay.
But other than that, like, everything is kind of like walking on eggshells, and we don't know exactly where it's gonna go. Again, I'm very scared about the animated studios. I'm very scared about that Batman animated series that's supposed to be coming out. I really hope it still comes out. I'm like praying that it still comes out, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Who
sir.
likes Discovery?
I don't know.
Where the
A
hell
lot
they
of
get
people.
all this money?
A lot of people.
I don't
A
know.
lot of people like to learn a lot of things.
I like Discovery Channel, but I don't think they had $1 billion to be buying all fucking Warner Brothers.
Well, listen, I told you. They also subscribe to. We will also show you these crazy people in the house,
Yeah, that's true.
and people will watch it because it's
That is
unfortunately funny to watch people be crazy and miserable. I don't know. That's terrible.
true. Yeah.
I stopped watching like regular TV a long ass time ago. I couldn't tell you how television is. I don't know
Yeah.
what's on.
Me
Is
either.
it Seinfeld still syndicated on some channel? Does it still?
Oh,
come
yeah.
like-
Channel 5, Channel 8.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, you know what? I always think about it. I don't really watch television other than basic cable because I guess I was lucky enough to like the syndicated shows
Yeah.
that we have. Like I can imagine it would suck to watch basic cable if you didn't like Seinfeld. You didn't like what is it Simpsons?
Yeah.
Who else is like? Isn't the Kevin James
Oh, Kings and Queens.
and Queen? Isn't that also? I like that show.
Yeah, syndicated. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's a few of them. It's like, man, at least these shows.
But you know, our time is a lot different.
And then there's a million Law and Orders that are always on.
fucking
What is it?
thousand.
TNT, I think it is.
Yeah.
And that's they'll give you that for free.
But the crazy thing is, like, our time is a lot different than now. Like, now you have more control of what's on TV. As in before,
Dude.
you don't have nothing of control. You just had to watch it because it was on there, and you're like, oh fuck, I need to watch this now.
But I mean, it's not like you can schedule the programming your way. You could just whatever your recording device is, because I'm sure it's not just. Does TiVo still? I've heard TiVo recently, man.
Yeah.
I have. It's still a thing, isn't it?
I don't think so.
Some weird dude
Probably
is
true.
still using it.
Yeah. But like,
Because
say
you
for
can
instance,
still-
now if I want to watch Seinfeld, I just go to Netflix. I can watch the whole season, the whole fucking series.
Oh well, see, that's fortuitous also for Jerry Seinfeld and Friends because
Yeah.
they get that money.
Yeah.
But it's also like, well, it's Seinfeld. I get that.
Yeah.
Some of the other lower tier shows, they're not making it to Netflix. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like, in that respect, that's the things you lose. Is you lose your not quite the best television shows, because that's kind of what TV was good about TV. It's like not everything was great on television.
Yeah.
But you found your trash. I get it.
Yeah.
But now you can pick your trash, and you don't have to ever not pick your trash. So why would I want to watch
And not have commercials
somebody
either.
else's? Yeah, and commercials.
I got spoiled.
I don't
with
know.
that part.
Listen, I'm not paying for YouTube, and YouTube's kind of getting obnoxious. I'm
Yeah.
just-
Right when the video is good. Oh, we got a commercial break.
yeah. They used to. It used to be. I think the what do you call it? The algorithm they probably used to use was better than it was now, because sometimes it would actually do it on a dramatic pause,
Yeah.
or like some action would be happening in the video I'm watching, and it just makes sense in context.
Yeah.
Now it's just somebody's in the middle of a sentence and it just cuts to a commercial.
Yeah, 'cause it's a
I'm just
time
like,
limit.
yeah, bro.
Because it's more of a timer than the actual video. So
Yeah,
like if
like
you're
now
watching something for a good an hour, by that hour they're gonna show a commercial like right in between. Doesn't matter
It's like
what it is.
I can fix this. I can fix this for free. But me having a YouTube
Yeah.
account and actually putting up content, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't do that, Merc. I have to. and I'm not, but I don't watch it enough to justify paying for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, anyways, I hope this Discovery Warner thing is good, right? Question mark?
Yeah, I'd give a big question mark.
Yeah, that's
A big
about it.
question mark because again, like the animated studios, like I'll be a lot less interested in HBO Max if they lose the DC animations.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, yeah, hopefully.
And whatever they're gonna call it, right? Because it's not gonna be called that. It's gonna get a
Probably just
people are
HBO.
speculating a funny name, like kind of like Tubi,
It'll probably be HBO.
which I
Discovery.
didn't know that Fox owns Tubi.
Now they own it.
Yeah, they didn't own it when it was.
Yeah.
Owned it, but
Hulu was a silent partner with Tubi.
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So they're in trials. But you know what? I think Tubi is a Canadian-based company too. That's why they get a lot of those cartoons.
Makes
So
sense.
they get a different copyright that they're able to get these cartoons that we can't get in America that's on our streaming services.
Okay.
And the Sentai.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Um,
I know what else is going on is Evo Evolution 2022. That is the world's biggest fighting game tournament, and it's held in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yeah.
I know right now is the last day. So a lot of the games have already finished. They are archived on Twitch. You should check them out. If you like games like Guilty Gear Strive and King of Fighters 15, and I think they went back as far to like have a tournament for Street Fighter 3 Third Strike.
Nice.
Where they were giving out medals. I saw a dude post a picture of his third place medal. So some of them they actually do honor them with medals, which is cool.
Cool.
But like they had like Ultimate Marvel 3, Marvel Infinite.
Nice.
There was a CVS 2 tournament that was a high profile.
Nice.
I kind of want to watch that. Let's see what else is current. They had Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition, Tekken 7, Grand Blue versus Dragon Ball Fighters. I think that's it.
Yeah, I'm actually
The
looking.
major stuff. There was no major tournament for DNF.
Any news that they announced? Any like new games or?
As far as news, no. It's mostly fixing the games or bringing them into the future because some of the games that did not have rollback netcode they announced. So there was a Persona 4 like update.
Yeah.
What they were gonna do, I guess, is they were gonna bring a newer version of the engine. I guess it's the same game, but they're just updating it, like maybe making it look better and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's like supposed to be this is the PlayStation 5. It's a little bit more whatever those things do. I don't know, the frame rate or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's like that version is getting rollback, which it did not have. Samurai Showdown is also getting rollback, which that game, I feel bad because that game, the online for that game was atrocious when it came out. And it's like that. I think that game's like 3 years old.
Yeah.
So it's probably a wasteland out there. People was just dying for a drop of water, and they finally got one. So
yeah.
The funny thing was there was a game, Grand Blue Versus, which it does not have rollback netcode, and that's what everybody wants for the game. But they announced another series of tournaments, and people are like, "I hate you." There was somebody that posted a picture, and they just said, "I love this app," and it was like a minute of him scrolling down in the replies, and it was just all this one sad face. And I was like, if you run the account for that and that's what you see as a response, like, you gotta tell the management, we gotta we gotta fix something.
Yeah.
That game needs rollback. It's a big deal. It's kind of, so if you don't know what it is, it's the type of connection you would have between you and the other player, right?
Yeah.
The way it works, it actually does what it says, and it in the middle of say a versus match, if the connection, I believe, if it hiccups or something goes wrong, it does not disconnect, right? It is able to technically go back in time and fix the issues and like cause you to experience less actual lag when you play online. Now, I'm not giving the more technical explanation because I don't exactly know how it works. It sounds like magic. That's all I know. But it works, right?
Yeah.
And it makes like even games that are as old as Street Fighter 2, when you play them on emulator through certain means, they play better than the collections you have to pay $40 and $60 for every year. And people are starting to wake up to that, and it's literally one of the biggest announcements of Evolution is rollback netcode for Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Yeah.
Like people was screaming, and there's like videos that's got like 20-something thousand likes on it. Like, dude, people, they wanted that. It's because COVID made it very obvious that what we was using to play fighting games online, it wasn't working, bro.
Yeah.
It had to go. It had to go. And then when they found out on PC that these no-name people, little so-and-so here on his Twitter account just post up, yo, I got this, and this running on Fightcade, yo, check it out.
Yeah.
And then when the studio that was behind Fightcade said we have rollback, it was over.
Yeah.
So it's kind of messed up, but it's cool to see the user market influencing the big market.
Yeah.
So that's basically the story of this Evo, is everybody saying we're putting rollback in our game. So 2 games have done it so far. Like, I'm not even making this up or exaggerating. These are multi-million-dollar companies, and they just announced this. Like, it's just the future. It is what it is. So.
Well, that's going to be like the big investment, especially going to future and fighting games too, because just that, and also I can see them preparing just in case this shit happens again.
Yeah. And I mean, so far, there's no horror stories about Evo. It is an in-person event.
Yeah.
It is huge. There are thousands of people there.
But I see like masses.
Thankfully, they do that. I believe they say they require you have to have a certain test when you come in for the day, or your vaccination and whatnot. But mask up. But again, people are there, and there's not stories about I'm sick and this and that, which is good.
That's really good. That's a good sign. Because San Diego Comic-Con had the opposite effect. They have a lot of people that got sick off of there. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So be responsible. Be responsible for yourself. Someone should not have to tell you to fucking cover
That's
up.
That's true.
Yeah. I'm watching some of the King of Fighters stuff.
Yeah, that is one of the games that is having its top 8 today. Mortal Kombat was another one. Mortal Kombat 11. It had its top 8 yesterday. So
any updates on Street Fighter 6 or anything like that?
No, but it's there.
It's there.
It's
okay.
there.
Cool.
So they have like gameplay showcases. They have a special. They actually have a because they've been doing this for a while. But you can tell they have the Sony money behind them.
Yeah.
Right. This is the Sony owned Evo. They have a channel dedicated to like all the presentations and stuff. So they had a channel with just hosts talking about this and that, different things going on. So that was one of the things that was mentioned.
It's nice to see the fighting game community.
And you know what?
Alive.
The coolest thing I think that they had the first day, I don't know if they're gonna do something really cool at the end of it, but at the beginning of Evo, when it first started on like the number 1 Evo channel, because they're numbered and stuff.
Yeah.
They had the SNK team came and had like a full-on music showcase, like throughout the years of King of Fighters. So it was like a lot of music. Cool. But like you see the actual people in the studio because they're in Japan. So they're playing the music live and stuff, and they're going through all the different songs. So you see it's sometimes different people, and I was just sitting there because this is one set of songs that you hear. I'm sure you probably play enough King of Fighters, you recognize it. But you see this Japanese lady playing this flute, and then you see in another video, she's still playing the same instrument. I'm just thinking, God damn. How versatile is that one instrument that it makes all those different songs? And I'm like, what the? Yeah, that is weird, but it was cool to see. So, it's not over yet.
Yeah.
But probably by the time you hear this, it probably will have passed. But I hope there's something cool at the end. I don't know if there is a character reveal for Street Fighter, maybe.
That's what I'm
Right.
looking at, like anything news with the character
SNK,
reveals or anything like that.
they announced a team before that. They announced a few projects they have in like
Okay,
Pocket Fighter going to be on Switch.
nice.
So if you never got that, there's gonna be like some type of Pocket Fighter thing, and I think it's also Battle Coliseum for Switch, for Pocket as well. Like they're doing lots of cool stuff, which I appreciate.
Yeah,
Because SNK was on his deathbed a little while ago, so.
nice. It's good to see it, everything alive.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's
so
true. And then the other thing, because it's Sony, they had a lot of indie fighting games.
cool.
Like they had a showcase, and it was just like a ton of them. It was like, oh damn, all right. So
Nice. Cool.
it's cool to see them actually paying respects to the genre. You know, not just going for like the 4 that make the most money.
Yeah,
So that's cool.
good. Hopefully we get some discounts for Evo.
Yeah.
Mm,
It
so-
also. Oh yeah, there was all the fighting games went on sale.
Yeah, not the DLC though.
Well, at least on Steam.
Yeah, not,
Like,
not
Fire
the
and all
DLC
that
though.
stuff.
Not the DLC though. Because
Oh, wow.
Tekken's DLC is still like $23. I'm like, fuck you.
Your PC, man. Let PC going. You ain't
Yeah.
gotta worry about that.
Yeah,
You can hook it up to the TV, man. I'm just saying.
yeah.
Just saying.
It's
Just saying. Got a nice
crazy.
TV. You can hook it up. You can make it. It can go through it real nice.
Yeah,
That's no longer a problem no more. They got the right cable for that and everything.
nice. Yeah, that would be something to think about. But as of now, PlayStation still hasn't discounted the Tekken DLC.
Shame on you. Shame on you, son. And Sony owns it, so that's a damn.
Like
They
season
own
3 is
Evo.
still $30. I'm like, yo, how the game is only like $5 and you still charging $30 for this DLC?
Exactly.
The game is $5. Like you're giving the game away half the time.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever, it is what it is.
You're gonna have to fight Harada inside of a volcano. So
Yeah.
for them to lower their prices.
Anyone that has a PlayStation, download Like a Dragon. It's there for free. Play it. It's great.
Do it. Do it.
Oh, the AEW game. Did you watch the trailer for it?
I didn't see the full trailer. I just saw the thing that was like the clip of Britt that you showed me.
So I pretty much commented on the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast Facebook page. Someone posted the whole video and stuff like that. And I'm looking at the whole trailer and I'm like, why is the person that's creating this game? I know for a fact played a lot of Yakuza because half of these mini games that are in this game are from Yakuza.
So that to me that's a good thing.
I'm not hating on it. Like there's a lot of mini games. They have like a casino battle royale that you collect the coins. There's a baseball mini game. There's like I said, like they're playing Yakuza.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the more the merrier, please.
The game itself, it looks okay. Like it has not won me like graphic wise or anything like that.
Yeah,
'cause
it
I feel
looks
like
like
it's dated.
it was built on a PS4 engine.
Yeah,
like
100%.
That era.
Yeah. But you see the No Mercy influence on the gameplay style. I did like the weapon animations that you could hit the fucking chair through the person's head, and it will stay there. Things like that. It looks like it's gonna be interesting. I'm definitely gonna line up getting it. I'm definitely probably gonna line up buying it. But yeah, definitely when you watch the trailer, you'll be like, yeah, they definitely played Yakuza.
It looks like something I would play.
Yeah.
Like the more recent ones, I don't feel like I would play them. I would probably just do the creative stuff and just make stuff happen and let it play by itself.
I think 2K22 was good. It had enough that it was fun to play.
But I mean, control-wise, so like how they feel.
Yeah, it was
like,
very simple, very fun to play. Like it was a bit more simplified. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I give credit to 2K22. Like everyone that said that sucked, like did you play it? No, you did not. So play it.
No,
and
it didn't, but it didn't get bad reviews.
Yeah.
It got like 7s and 8s.
Yeah,
so.
it played okay. It still has learning curves and still has to be built, but they have a good footprint right now. They have a good plan for the next one.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
I think the next one's gonna be better. I think the next one's just gonna improve what they started.
Yeah.
But
'cause then they
AEW
have
game,
more time.
yeah.
Yeah.
AEW's game looks like, definitely the guy played Yakuza. Because when I saw the mini games and what the mini games were, I was like, yo, he definitely played Yakuza. Because I was like,
wonder if that's gonna translate to how the fighting is. I mean, listen, if you could sell me on a wrestling engine that has Yakuza roots in it somehow, I'm like, all right, well, now you got me interested.
But watch the full trailer, like even the little mini game stuff, and then you'd be like, oh shit, yeah, I see the Yakuza influence into it, especially the baseball. Like, where the fuck do you get baseball from?
Well, they're on TBS.
I understand.
The home of the Braves.
That is the home of the Braves. That is true. That is true. But I was like,
I'm surprised they don't do like football, some type of Jaguars thing, and then baseball, the home of the Braves.
But that makes sense. But it doesn't have a full release date. Amazon has like the placemaker release date on it, which is December 31st, 2020.
I thought the art was fake, but it turns out that because they show it on the show now, that's the real box art. I was like, okay,
it's pretty ugly.
It just looks like I can make that. Nobody can foresee. No, I was just saying, it looks like, oh yeah, nobody can foresee Punk just being out. Like,
I definitely could make that cover on my phone.
I thought it was a fan cover. That's what I said. I thought it was a fan cover.
Yeah.
It's not like it's bad, but it was just like I was expecting it to be more stylized. That's what I was expecting.
Me too. I thought they were gonna go more with the black and gold colors as well. I thought it would have more flair than what it has.
No, I thought my thought was it was gonna have like the finalized looking models from the game on it or something like that.
Yeah.
Because do you remember that was one of the things they talked about is how, because at least it looks dated.
Yeah.
But they look like the people in a way that's accurate but also stylized.
I hope, and this is something that I just hope in general with wrestling games down the road, I hope the creative wrestler allows you to really update the current wrestler. So basically, again, this game is going to be dated, so the outfits and things like that are in the game are going to be dated. I wish they give you all the tools to kind of update it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, if they were smart, they would have a universal thing. You log into the server and it goes bloop.
I honestly, if they could
you want to change everything?
I think it would be a lot harder to do because the way Fire Pro Wrestling did it is the fact that you had to go to their website and you could download like 10 guys at once.
No, I don't mean that. I mean, I just mean it changes the stats and it gives you, because you get to a server when you go online.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to a website. You can literally just do it there and just hit confirm, yes, no.
Yeah.
I think if you want to be granular about it, you could look at everybody that gets changed.
Yeah.
But they can make it an opt-in or opt-out feature.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind that, like, even if that's being like a season pass, I wouldn't mind that. Like if every like 3 months they update the gear that you could just download and it'll be part of the wrestler that you're playing with.
Yeah. But I was just talking about the movesets and stuff.
Yeah.
The stuff that you don't have to pay money for.
Those things I think that's going to be automatic. I think WWE has done that with their stuff. So I think the creative wrestler stuff is going to kind of model itself with WWE's, because WWE's does have all that.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't touched it.
The only thing they took out was the creative move. They don't have the creative move anymore.
Do they still have the creative taunt?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Yeah. And the creative entrance and shit like that. They just took out the move because even if you did the creative move, sometimes it just came out extremely silly because the stops of the animation.
Mm-hmm.
But that is what it is. But I hope the game is good. I definitely going to pick it up. But yeah. Definitely the Yakuza influence. So watch the trailer when you get a chance and you'll be like, oh shit, yeah, I see the Yakuza style into it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Want to get into this movie?
Yeah. So this week's movie is Hellboy.
Yep.
From 2004. Let's see. It is PG-13. It is 2 hours and 2 minutes. Its rating is a 6.8. I thought it would be higher.
Yeah. I think the sequel has a higher.
Oh, you think
it's
so?
better, yeah.
Okay. All right. The release date the premiere was
April.
on the 30th, but in the U.S. is April 2nd. Released
sir.
everywhere in the U.S. It is directed by Guillermo del Toro.
Yep.
He's also in the writing credits.
Mm-hmm.
And it says Peter Briggs.
He's the creator of Hellboy.
And then Mike Mignola is also here.
Also the creator of Hellboy.
Okay. And it stars Ron Perlman as Hellboy, John Hurt as Trevor Brutenholm, Selma Blair as Liz Sherman, Rupert Evans as John Myers, Kara Roden as Grigory Rasputin, Jeffrey Tambor as Tom Manning, Doug Jones as Ape Sapien.
Yep.
Ape Sapien, excuse me, not Ape.
He was also a Surfer.
Brian Steele as Samael. Who else was? Is this the killer? Oh wow, he has a name. Laszlo Burin as Carl Rupert Cronin.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the killer. And Biddy Hodson as Ilsa Hasputin.
Yes.
What we got? I guess Corey Johnson is Agent Clay. He makes sense because he was a focal character at one point. He had a little bit of an arc.
Yes.
With his hair plugs.
Mm-hmm.
Did we get everybody?
Yeah, for the most part.
All the agents are important. Anybody else?
Yeah, you got the most part.
How about Kid on the Rooftop? No.
Yeah.
Dr. Jenkins. It's not played by the Jenkins. Never mind. Not important. So I don't know exactly anything about Hellboy's origins or his stories. So I'm just gonna assume this is accurate to something. I don't know. I don't know if they make something up or whatever. But the synopsis they have here: a demon raised in infancy after being conjured by and rescued from the Nazis grows up to become a defender against the forces of darkness. So that's basically the gist of Hellboy. They do show you. I mean, they go through it. They have the in the beginning the Nazis, and I guess it's the times.
Yeah.
Not afraid to call them Nazis, right?
Yeah.
And they show you, and they lean into that thing, which is just like, is that real? Do you know, Mark? Or is that always just a what do you call an urban legend about the Nazis being into the occult?
It's a little bit of both. I can't really say.
Okay. So yeah. Well, that's the thing you normally hear about them.
Yeah, they're always kind of
into the occult.
Yeah.
Or they had some type of fascination with technology that went beyond normal stuff.
Yes, they did.
So there's that type of thing. This is what it's playing into. I did not really get the fact that the guy was Rasputin because I didn't understand why Rasputin and the Nazis. That doesn't make sense in my brain.
Yeah.
So I didn't really quite get that was the same guy.
Yeah.
Because I know in history there's also a man named Rasputin. I think he was also into the occult.
Yeah.
So that Rasputin summons. I guess the first summoning is the demon that they were going to summon. I think you see the other one in the background frozen.
Yeah.
Couldn't quite tell at the time what it was. It just looked like a block of ice with eyes inside of it.
Yeah.
But then they summon Hellboy, and he's the demon that comes through.
Yep.
Right.
A little Hellboy.
Yes, a baby, actual baby Hellboy.
Yeah.
And so they have that go down, but at the same time they do that is when the Americans pop up and ruin the party, and that's how they get Hellboy. They save him from the Nazis, so it's cool. The one of the things I will say, I told you, at 2 hours and 2 minutes is one of the longer movies because usually these superhero movies are 130, 145.
Yeah.
And then anything longer than that, it starts to drag. So this one doesn't drag because at least, I guess, thanks to Del Toro, right? He's directing and whatnot. And then,
he's a fantastic
credit to the actors and actresses. Yeah. But the way they explain stuff it doesn't feel like anything is wasted, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
So if they're showing you a scene, usually it has a purpose to something. It's either building character, is pushing the story forward, or it's giving you backstory or something.
Yeah.
Like when they start showing Selma Blair's character, it's always in like I don't quite exactly know why she wants to not be there, and then slowly it unravels why she doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
And then you see, oh yeah, I don't think anybody would want her to be here, when you really see what happens when she goes to sleep.
Yeah.
And she has nightmares. So it's like I appreciate that whole subplot actually had a gradual build up.
Yeah.
So like, cause okay, I never saw this movie in full until today, right?
Yeah.
Or not today, until I had to watch it. But in looking at it like in a different way, like just to actually pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah.
I always was like, I started thinking, yes, I remember there was a team of them, and I remember her character already like doing stuff cool.
Yeah.
So I see the movie, she's not doing anything.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, I didn't really get that, because in the trailers she's just doing cool stuff.
Yeah, they
You know
kind
what
of
I mean?
sell you of her like just flaming on and shit
Like
like
the
that.
picture of her on the DVD when you watch the trailer is her with a fire in her hand. So I'm like, the picture on the poster is her with the fire, like and you see it, you don't see no fire. I'm like, huh? But you get there, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like the fish guy is explained, even his name is explained.
Yes.
And like nothing feels like that's too much. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I actually liked him a lot too. I thought he looked really cool.
Mhm.
The one thing I loved about this movie was the practical effects, like the costume designs and shit like that. And that's something you're gonna get from Guillermo del Toro. That's what he's known for. If you ever watch any of his movies, Pan's Labyrinth, Pacific Rim, he has a knack of using like practical with CGI, but he likes the costume work and stuff. So when we get to Hellboy 2, you're going to see a lot more costume work, because he does like a whole freaking village of mutants and shit. So you get to see that like later on in the next movie. But I always liked his direction. I actually think he picks projects that he really loves. So you see the love that he puts into it, and he actually cares about the characters and stuff like that. This is something that he really pushed to get made, so you could see that he's on the screenplay, he's on everything, just to make sure this movie was done the way he wants it to be done. We did have a movie before that was directed by him, which was Blade 2, so kind of goes into this and everything like that. So that was actually really cool. I actually liked the characters a lot. I liked Ron Perlman. I think he was great. I think that was my favorite part of the movie, was Ron Perlman. I loved him as Hellboy. I thought he was great. I thought he fit the character perfectly. And if you look from comic book to reality, he looks way too close to it.
Yeah, I mean that's the attention to detail.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
But I really enjoyed it. I liked the story. I like that. Yeah, you made a point that like everything kind of had a reason for everything, and it flowed. It had his kind of building blocks of this movie. I enjoyed it for the most part.
Yeah.
What you rate it?
I'm gonna give it a 4.
Yeah, me too. Where it's gonna go. So your 4s are League of Swords and Gentlemen, Road to Petition, and From Hell.
Over From Hell.
Over From Hell. Okay, cool. So Hellboy will be your number 6. We have done 21 movies so far.
Okay. So that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it a 4 as well. I'm gonna put it right on top of From Hell, right underneath Blade 2, which is funny because they're both directed by the same person. All right. That's our superhero. That's our movie. So for both sides. So my top 10 right now, Pootie Tang still staying strong. For number 1, Spider-Man is number 2, X-Men is number 3, X-Men 2 is number 3. Road to Petitions 4. Blade 2 is 5. Hellboy 6. From Hell 7. LOG is 8. Unbreakable's 9. Ghost World is 10. For your movies, it's Pootie Tang 1. Blade 2 is 2. X2 is 3. LOG is 4. Road to Petitions 5. Hellboy 6. From Hell 7. Spider-Man's 8. Unbreakable's 9. American Splendor is 10. Our next week's movie is Thomas Jane's Punisher.
And that is that the same person from the short?
Yes.
Okay. So that's just so I remember which
Yes.
one is which. Okay.
So this one's starring Thomas Jane and John Travolta.
I don't remember him that much in the movie.
He's the main villain.
Man,
Got
I really
dragged
don't.
in explosion.
Who was he? Jigsaw?
No, he was.
That was the second
He was the
movie.
mafia boss and shit.
Okay. That was the other movie.
Yeah, that was Warzone.
Yeah.
That was good too.
Not for nothing. Yeah, not for nothing. I like that one too.
That dude fucking jumped from a first floor and cracked someone's neck on a fence. That's the one thing I remember from that movie, and that left me after that movie. I was like, that's so painful.
Damn.
So right now, next week is Punisher. Spider-Man 2 is the following week. Sky High is after that. Elektra is following that. Batman Begins, Constantine, Fantastic Four, History of Violence, and Sin City. That wraps up the next couple of movies. That'll be Sin City will hit number 30.
Okay.
So those are the next bunch of movies. We got some really good ones and some I haven't watched in a long time, so I'm kind of excited. And I think we're away from a lot of. Oh no, we're not, because Son of the Mask is very close. So yeah.
Nah. If anything can be Catwoman.
I think that's gonna be Catwoman. I think everything's gonna be Catwoman. I don't think nothing's as bad as Catwoman.
We'll see.
We'll see. Anyway, yeah.
That's it?
Yes, it.
Yes, sir. Thank you for listening to another episode of the It Gets Better I Swear podcast. Make sure you follow us anywhere and everywhere. RedCycloneInc. That is Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. That is YouTube. That is SoundCloud. That is also Spotify. And we got a WordPress. Where you at, Merc?
Follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube.com, and Twitch, or Mark the Mic. Follow our other podcasts. We have Shell Shock, The Morphin Cast, Not a Trekkie, and The Gamer Rage. They're all also on our feed. They come out every month, and our weekly, The Wrestling Babble, and Gets Better, I Swear. Follow the Facebook pages of RedCycloneInc and The Wrestling Babble. Join the conversation. We have a lot of stuff going on there. And I'll give a shout out to Popcorny Podcast, my partner on the other cast, Tenacious T. He has his own little spin-off podcast called Popcorny. Goes through pop culture and all that stuff. Check them out on Popcorny on Spotify, and yeah, give some love. And always remember, follow the Jinkies.